Hey guys, welcome to Saturday Variety Game. For those of you guys who do follow the stream, you know that I play a lot of TOT on my off time, and I get questions all the time about how to play. The game is quite complicated and it's got a steep learning curve, so I thought I'd make a quick little video and give you guys some of the basics, so that way I can point viewers to that to this video, not have to do it every like 20 minutes, just because it is super involved and it's nearly impossible for me to explain a lot of it live. So the first round was the Carousel Round. What it is you get to actually pick a character, and the characters all have an item on them. It's often important to pick items over the characters, but in the first Carousel Round, it's always really helpful if you can get a decent character with a good item. I chose the magic stick, so it wasn't my first choice, but I was kind of far away from any bows or anything that I might want. Our first 3 rounds are against NPCs, and during the NPC rounds, you have a chance to get items, gold, more characters, all sorts of goodies. As you can see, we got 1 item. Now I'm choosing to sell my character that I started with, because that item I don't really want on him. It doesn't work great with his character. He also gives me 2 gold back, because he's a 2 gold minion. As you'll see on the bottom row here, every round you'll get 5 minions to choose from, 5 characters. And you buy and you pick and choose to buy minions or characters depending on what direction you think your team is going to go. And your team comp is very important. And you have to be willing to switch what you're using based on what you're being offered, because it is a draft. You never know what's going to come in the draft. So in this item, we just got some characters, which is helpful because those characters are worth gold. If we don't want them, we can sell them back. So sometimes you get really lucky and get some really good characters very early. Next to the characters on the left, you'll notice that there are a couple of buttons. There is a refresh button that costs you 2 gold, and that'll refresh all 5 character slots on the bottom for you to pick and choose and buy from. So later in the game when you're trying to level up your characters, that's a good way to do it. There's also a buy experience button, costs 4 gold for 4 XP, and it also shows you how close you are to your next level. Just above in the middle, the character slot there, it shows you your gold. If you hover over it, it'll tell you how much gold you're getting per round. Next to that, it shows you your heating up or cooling down counter. You get bonus gold if you've won a string of matches or lost a string of matches. So it can be beneficial sometimes to keep that streak going. If you're losing, you could try to force a loss, get some extra gold. Money management is important. You don't want to burn through your money too quickly, and you do want to stockpile some. You get extra gold for having gold saved. It's the interest mechanic. For every 10 gold you have, you gain an extra gold at the end of each round. So if you have 50 gold, which is the cap, I mean, you can get more gold, but that's the interest cap. You'll get an extra 5 gold, which adds up very fast, and it's very important. So I decided not to level. I decided to buy a full bench worth of characters. It's kind of like staying open in Magic. You don't know what is going to be offered in the next pool of characters, so I just buy all of them and see where the wind takes us. Oftentimes people will not do that, and they will force a level 4 and put in an additional character, which will put you at a huge disadvantage. But I got a little lucky. I did not force, neither did my opponent, and my characters were of higher value. So we got round 1, we got some items. The main reason I'm holding the items on the bench is because you combine 2 items to make a different item, a better item, but each combination combines into a specific item. So you don't want to waste your item materials into creating something that is not as good. I'm going to go ahead and force a level here. We're not close to getting interest, so it's just 4 gold, and I'd like to keep winning if at all possible. So we're gonna hit 4. I also, if you notice, hit my 3rd ranger here. Oh, poo, I forgot her name. But the 3 characters, because there were 3 of the same, combined. That's one of the 2 ways that you can increase a character's power, by leveling them up. By getting 3 of the same will create a tier 2. If you get 3 tier 2s, it will create a tier 3. So essentially it takes 9 of the same character to make a tier 3. That will make them stronger, all of their stats will get better, or you can give them better items, which I haven't put any of the items in because I'm not really willing to commit to any of the combinations that we currently have. I picked up Poppy, she's one of my favorites. We can also, you know, switch into Yordles, Knights, all sorts of things here. I think right now we're gonna stick with the Brawler, but eventually I think we'll remove the Brawler and put in the Poppy, gain the Knight bonus. Maybe when we level, we can switch out the other Brawler, put in the other two Yordles with the Poppy, gave us 2 bonuses in place of the 1. The bonuses, guys, are over on the far left-hand side. Again, this is a lot of information. I know it's really hard to keep track of and keep up with, but this is why doing it on stream all the time is really complicated. So right now we've got the Brawler bonus by putting in, I shifted out the Garen and put in the two Brawlers. It gives all of my characters more, all of my Brawlers more health. So those 2 characters get a huge health bonus because I have them. So switching out the Brawlers potentially for 2 bonuses is very important. The way the bonuses work, guys, is every character has 2 or 3 passive categories that they fit in. So, for example, we have the Warwick, the werewolf guy that's in the front of our team right now that's been fighting. He is a Brawler, and he is a Wild. So the Brawler bonus, I already told you guys, gives you guys a cool health boost to all the Brawlers in the team. If you have 2 of them on board, they get a certain amount. If you have 4 on board, they give you a certain amount. And you guys can see that by hovering over all the bonuses on the side there. I went ahead and took the Warwick, not because I really want to level up my Warwick, but because I really want this sword to go with my chest piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch out the Warwicks and put the one with the item in over the one that doesn't have the item, just because he's naturally stronger. We're going to start selling stuff. I think it's going to be about time to switch up the comp, but I don't think I have time to do it here. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of organize my bench a little bit and leave the composition as is for the time being. We'll switch it up in just a sec. Lasondra, the character on the far left of our bench, she is Glacial Elemental. I think Elemental is one of my favorites currently in the set. It's a huge power spike, and I'm kind of sitting on her until we get Elemental. It's reasonably easy to complete as well. It's one of my favorites. I was at 9 gold, so selling a character, you know, helps get you that extra interest. We picked up a Kennen, which is great because he's a second elemental. You need 3 for the bonus. Every bonus is a little different. They all work differently, and they all require either 2, 3, or 4 characters, depending. I'm gonna go ahead and sell the Warwicks. We're gonna put in the Poppy and replace. We're gonna force a level, so we get to 5 and get to put in an extra character. So this way we can switch out the 2 Brawlers, get the extra character, and put in 3 Yordles. These 3 Yordles are going to give us both the Yordle bonus, the Knight bonus, and the Ninja bonus in replace of the Brawler. So all of the Yordles will have a chance to dodge. The Knights mean everybody on the team will mitigate some damage. And the Ninja means he gets extra attack power, I think, and mana to start the fight. He gets like a little boost if he's the only ninja in the field. If you put a second ninja on the field, it will negate it unless you have 4. That's the way the ninja bonus works. So again, a lot of information. It's got a steep learning curve, but it takes you a couple of games to really get a feel for it. But once you get that feel, it is just like drafting, and it's fantastic. So this is the next NPC round. You guys can see the rounds on the top of the screen. It'll tell you what your next couple of rounds are going to be up until the NPC round, and then it's will refresh and show you what your next 6 rounds will be. As you can see, I moved all of my guys to the right-hand side. I did that for 2 reasons. One, it ensures that all of my characters will focus fire the Krugs, and focus firing means that you'll kill one instead of trying to take them all down at the same time. It means that they're all doing damage to your characters for longer, so it increases your chances of winning there. The other interesting thing about the Krugs is that when you kill one, it heals all the other ones. So if you're DPSing on multiples, then it'll just heal it and all that DPS will go to waste. So burning one down means you get like maximum value and you don't have to do as much damage. So we're going to rearrange a little bit here. We're going to get our tanks situated in front of our softer, squishier characters. We got a Lasondra here, which I'm a big fan of. I think we should just pick up these 2 Volies, make a tier 2 Volley. Might be worth it to switch out the, obviously, once the portal opens, you can't change your team, unfortunately, anymore. But we can switch out the Night bonus and for the Glacial bonus by switching out the Darius and the Vayne. And I like the Glacial bonus a lot. What it is every character who is Glacial has a chance to freeze. That means the characters on the board just don't do anything. So the item I gave Poppy when I sold the Warwick for the sword that we specifically got off the carousel is called a GA, Guardian Angel. And what that means is when she dies, she gets to come back and continue beating on things. It's pretty sweet. So we're picking up a second Kennen. One more means our Kennen gets much bigger and stronger. I like picking up the Sejuani here because now we talked about potentially switching out for the Glacial bonus and losing the Night bonus. Now we don't have to. The Sejuani is actually Night and Glacial. So we lost one of our Knights, but replaced the Night, and Darius's second Imperial category was just wasted. So now we have, we got to keep the Night bonus by switching out the Darius and the Sejuani, and then we sold the Vayne and put in the Volibear, which is more powerful. It's a 3 gold minion, which means its stats are just naturally better. And giving us, again, that second Glacial bonus. Now we've increased our bonus number to 4, which is helpful. I've noticed that getting multiple smaller bonuses is better than big ones. Like Yordle 6 is weaker than Yordle 3, Glacial 2, Night 1, and Ninja 1. That's my personal opinion, I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's cool to have like Sorcerer 6 or something. So now we have 2 belts. I'm gonna go ahead and put both those belts together and combine them on Poppy to give her Warmogs. That gives her more health every couple of seconds. She regenerates, I believe, 6%. So for a tank that comes back to life, that's quite annoying. If all of her characters are fighting Poppy for half the fight, then all of my other characters are just free to go ham and wail on her to death. That's ideal. Oh no! So they just froze all of our minions. They also have Glacial, so if you noticed, a couple of our minions got frozen. Poppy's gonna come back. This fight's not looking good, guys. That Ginsu on the Varus is really, really bad. It's a good item. Ooh, our second loss. Not ideal. Alright, so this is kind of a new thing that they added. If you hit R and spacebar, you can switch back and forth between your base and the wheel, the character wheel here. That'll allow you to see what characters you have, what characters you might be able to complete, also what items you have, and maybe, you know, if you kind of forgot, what you need to complete your ideal item. I picked up this brand because we've been sitting on the Lasondra for a while. So I was really excited and I really wanted this brand. The item's not the best for him, but that doesn't really matter because now we're gonna get a huge, huge power spike by switching out 2 of our characters. I might even force level and get the Bran and the Lasondra in. So the Lulu is really not giving us anything except for the Yordle bonus, but I think the Glacial is just so much stronger. So I'm about to combine the 2 magic sticks and put them on the Bran, but the Bran has a character from the wheel that he came with. So if you accidentally go ahead and throw a magic stick on him, you'll combine those 2 items. And you won't be able to get the second magic stick on him, and it'll create a crappy item. So one of the tricks to get around this is buy a level 1 character, because you can always sell it back for equal gold. Put the 2 items you want on him, sell him back, and the item will fall off. And then you can put the completed item on your character. And as you can see now, he's got the item I wanted, the magic, the death cap. And then he still has that chest piece, which is pretty freaking useless. I'd love to get it off of him, but there's no really way to do that except to sell him. So we've already got Glacial, so I'm gonna pick up a second Ash. Oh my gosh, that was a really loud car. One of the things I want to start considering is what am I gonna be putting in next? We have 2 out of 3 Yordles, so a decent Yordle would be good. 1 out of 2 Demons, so another Demon if we can find one that we like. But worst case scenario, another Glacial just means, because we already have the Glacial bonus, it means you now have 3 characters that have a chance to stun. A chance to freeze. So that's never bad. It's not a whole fresh bonus, but it's pretty close to a bigger upgrade than just the Ash herself. Poppy's gaining life. They can't kill her. She's been so close to dead like for a while. Yeah, she never died. She never lost her GA. She would have came back, but they couldn't take her down because of that Warmogs. Really cool. So now we're at the next NPC. These are the wolves. I tend to have the best luck with wolves. I'm actually switching around. I'm putting the Lasondra in front of the Kennen because the wolves will jump to you and they will surround your characters, surround your base. The Kennen ult is a big AoE. And because I have that one little slot where I can't get a tank to protect my core, I'm gonna go ahead and put the Lasondra up front because if she dies first, that's okay. One of the wolves is gonna jump into that spot potentially. We got lucky, however. Our elemental bonus basically makes that big golem every round, and that popped up in that empty slot. But if it had popped up forward, then there's a chance that it just instantly kills my my Lasondra. And I would, wanted the Kennen to be safer. Our item was 2 cats. We can sell back for 6 gold, or we can keep them potentially, and we have this Darius over here on the side, and they're both Imperial. Imperial 4 is very powerful, so for the time being, while we don't know what we want to do, we'll keep them, hang out with them for a little bit. We can always sell them later, and we are also at max gold interest. We'll get the bonus 5. I've been streaming and making YouTube videos all day, so I'm starting to lose my voice. This is my last video for the night. So Kennen, his ult, super cool. That's what that electric staticky thing is, and it deals damage to everything within it. And he can definitely carry a team. He is great. This fight's not looking great though. We got some carries. He has a tier 2 Jinx. She's a 4 gold character. He found 3 of them. That's pretty powerful. Also, the item on Bran over here, he's a very tanky character, and he negates like 83% of magic damage. And some of my biggest damage dealers in my team are magic. The Lasondra and the Bran. I believe Kennen is even partly magic, his ult maybe. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these 2 archers here. They are demon. He's a demon, so maybe we might decide to go that route. And we also haven't lost our bonus yet. So I went ahead and I rolled. I refreshed, spent 2 gold. I found another Ash, so I'm like, oh, okay, that would be really cool. I'd love to try to hit a tier 3 Ash. We already have 1 tier 2, so now we need 6 more. And this round we found 2 of those. And I went ahead and sold the demons back immediately. Just so that way we kept our 50 gold interest investment. Oh man, that was beating. 2 losses back to back. I think we had a really big power spike, but we're still losing. We need to level, I think, soon. So we're gonna go ahead and level, stick the Ash in. She is tier 3. It's another character that freezes. That's gonna help out a lot. We haven't been getting very many items, and we also didn't get much in the way of gold. Some people, it is random. Some games it's feast or famine a lot of times. I think we're just shy of average probably. This fight is looking much better. Our cannon destroyed. Look at that damage meter over there on the far right. He is off the charts. So we did spend a lot of gold, unfortunately, to get that extra slot in for the Ash. So now we've got to do a little bit of saving here. Carousel is really good. So also the carousel on the top there, you can see what our next rounds are. Something to note, the carousel actually turns into a player match. So we actually have 2 player matches, and then the chickens, I don't know what their actual name is, which is another NPC round where you can get extra items, gold, or characters. I went ahead and took the Poppy. It gives her, I have a bow, so it's not very good. Again, it's another dead item, but I didn't see any of the items I wanted nor characters. So the Poppy will combine, that'll be a good power boost. She's much more powerful now. She attacks faster, which isn't quite as relevant. I would love to put that bow somewhere else, but I'll take the power spike while I can, I think. Now I'm just checking what items I can make with the spatula. Mostly spatulas make items. 2 spatulas together makes an extra character slot. So if you're level 7, you can have 8 characters, which is nice. Now, if you put a spatula with a different item, it turns other classes into other things. So you can turn them into knights. So it basically just gives them, it doesn't take away their other classes, it just puts a second or a third or whatever on them. You can turn them into knights. That was an ass kicking. Knights, demons, glacial. You can turn them into all sorts of cool things. Ooh, Gnar is a good one. So if we pick up the Gnar here, he could be a great one to put in next. He's one of the best characters in the game for this patch. It'll also give us the Yordle bonus. So our Kennen and our Poppy and our Gnar would all have a chance to dodge basic attacks. And that's really helpful. I'm going to pick up this Poppy just because I can. There's no way we're going to hit 6 more Poppies. It's most likely going to get sold back. But there's no harm in doing it because we're max gold for our interest. And she sells back for 3, so... We are 3 ashes away from a tier 3. That's much more what I would like to find if at all possible. But all of our last games have gone, our last couple of fights have been going very well. We do have a NPC round next, and we're hoping for some good items. We need something. So we just, it shows you when your opponents tier things up. And you can see that one of our opponents just tiered up an Ash to tier 2. So that takes 3 Ashes out of the pool. You are playing out of a joint pool with the other players. And there are more 1 golds than there are 2s, and so on and so forth. So the 3 golds are actually quite rare, and not a whole lot of players can play the same sets of 3s. The 5 gold, which is the cap, there's only 10 total. So in order for you to get a tier 3 of them, you need to have all but 1. So it gets really hard. I think there's 39 of the basics though. We got some good items, right? We got a completed item, which is insane. It's actually one of my favorites. That's a Ginsu. The way this item works is every couple of seconds, it increases your attack speed. So as the game goes longer and longer, your carry fires or hits faster and faster. So it'll deal more and more damage. In this case, Ash will also have a higher, every hit has a chance to freeze, to lock them down, so great. I'm gonna move her over 1, switch her with the Lasondra, so she's a little bit more protected. Also, the Lasondra was 1 square away and having difficulty attacking, so this will get her a little bit closer to the action. The little X's over my characters, that's the Hex Tech. It's their bonus. What it does is, depending on how many Hex Techs you have, it will hit a random square on the board of one of your characters, and the first Hex Tech is just the squares around it. And then if you get Hex Tech bonus 2, it gets the range gets higher and higher, wider and wider. So we already have 3 characters dead, 3 other players. one at 1 life, one at 15 life. We're in second place, so we're doing pretty well. The game is going quite quickly, and we are going to go ahead and power level, get this Gnar in. I might have done that in the last round. And this guy is like spam pinging us to be careful. What a dick. I feel like this is the, it's the guy in first place. I feel like that's the like early GG. I think he's just being annoying. He's just spamming. Oh, nice. So the Gnar, when he ultimates, he turns into the bigger monster, as opposed to the cute little guy. And then he like ults everybody and knocks them out and knocks them into a different direction. And in this case, he turned around and knocked them all into the Kennen ult, which was going off at the time. So that's a really good way to kick people's butts, is to do. This is going really well. Yes, we are 2 ashes away from a tier 3 ash, and I really, really want it. 1 ash away from a tier 3 ash. So now I'm digging. I'm spending all my gold. I just want this ash. We got a second brand, so if we find another one, that would be a decent upgrade. Oh man, we're spending a lot of gold. We spent like 40 something gold here. Oh, we got the Sejuani. That's an upgrade. We had the tier 1 Sejuani in there for a long time. So we wasted a lot of gold, but we didn't come away empty-handed. We did get a little bit of a power boost. So now we have 1 more brand for a power boost. And also we are only 1 ash away. I really want tier 3. But we don't want to burn any more of our gold because our opponent still has 87 life, so this game could still be dragged out quite a bit. We're down to the final 3 though. It's going quick. This one's looking good. That was a butt kicking. All right, back to Carousel. I will be in the first round to be let go. All these characters have completed items. Now I need to decide what items I want. I'm not very good at item classification, really. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this Trist. She's a tier 1 gold minion, so that's the worst value possible. But this item, it starts your character off with mana, and every time they use their mana, they get more mana back. So I'm gonna put this on to the Kennen, because the Kennen ult has been carrying the team so far. So if I can get him to do that more regularly, quicker and more consistently, then I think that would be a really big thing. I'm still digging for this Ash. Oh, we found the brand though. Brand is good. I'll take that. Now I'm looking around. You can click on your character, your opponent's portraits, and you can see what kind of characters they have. So you can see this opponent has a tier 3 Ash, which is part of the reason we're getting a little smashed here. Can't find her. We're 1 away. I'm gonna pick up this Swain because we don't really have a character to put in for our next level. So I doubt we'll get to him. We probably won't get to level 9 regardless, and that's cap, by the way. But just in case we do, you know, it's good to have something on the bench. We'll probably, if we do, we'll probably find something better than him. He's also, you know, he's a demon, gives us the demon bonus, and he's a 5 gold minion. He's pretty good. Definitely one of the better units. So we have 1 more player battle, and then we have Dragon, which comes with a completed item. I'm just digging. I keep refreshing. Oh, we got a Nivea. Anivia is a really cool character. I always like to get her late in the game. She's very strong. She's 5 gold. She is Glacial Elemental, and it's one of the only times where you'll see 2 characters have the exact same stats. So I switched out the Anivia for the Lasondra. Even though she's tier 2, I think the Anivia is more powerful. It's close, you know. The line between higher tiered minions and more powerful minions in general is a little fuzzy, and you know, kind of depends on the character personally, I think. So I went ahead and switched them out. I think she's quite good. And if we can find 2 more of her, that's just bananas. A tier 2 5 gold minion is so strong, so strong. All right, we're in first place. 2 more opponents to kill. Alright, so Dragon, guys, does a little bit of AoE damage. So I like to move some of my ranged characters off to the other side. Not the whole team. I don't like to break up the shell because you do have a limited amount of time to try to get things back in order. But getting some of the ranged characters out of the way just so you guarantee you can kill this guy is pretty good. This item, on chance on hit, it has, so it's random what item you get off your dragon. Some characters might get better items. It gives on hit a chance to lower the tier level of your character, your opponent. So I'm probably gonna put this on the Ashe. So every time the Ashe hits a character, it could take it down from tier 2 to tier 1, and that would decrease its power level mid-fight, which is nice. And I think my Ashe with the Ginsu attacks the fastest, so she has the most chance to trigger that as often as possible. Maybe we should have been trying to go for the Bran. Ooh, we finally hit the tier 3 or tier 2, 3 of Nars. So that's nice. That's a big power boost. We have won our last 8 matches, so we have interest coming in, plus the heating up bonus is maxed out at 7 wins, I believe. So you get a lot of extra gold for that as well. Oh no, Kennen insta-died. This is not looking good, guys. I don't know how he changed his build, but we crushed before. We hadn't lost a match. But now this is not even close. So I'm not sure what he did to change his thing, but you know, oftentimes the final 3 will turn into a rock, paper, scissors match. So pairings are kind of random. So I might be able to beat Moro's King, but Moro's King can beat Need to Calm, and Need to Calm can beat me, as you guys just saw. So it just kind of depends how many times you get the better of the rock, paper, scissors. Coming in, it's gonna be close though. They both have a fair amount of health, and the guy that beat me is the one that's got 35 life. So that's not ideal. This is the other guy that we crushed no problem, so this should be good. Shouldn't be much of a problem. As long as our Kennen survives, I think that's always going to be the key for us. Our Ashe just froze his 5 gold minion in the back of line there. It's going to be tough. And then she ultimates the character that's got 3 items and freezes it, so it just locks it down. That glacial is good. He stopped pinging us, I don't know if you noticed. Because he's getting his butt whooped. He just hit level 9, so he dumped all of his mana. He's gonna have an extra character on the battlefield now compared to us. Still can't hit this freaking Ashe and it's driving me nuts. I think the correct move would have been to go ahead and level a little while ago and get the Swain in instead of digging. You know, I've spent like 60 gold trying to find this damn Ashe, but you know, I just really want a tier 3. You know, it'll just fill my heart with joy. So this Braum has an item, like I said, that removes or prevents 63% of magic damage or something, which is an ass kicking because most of my damage is magic. So, whew. Ouch, ouchie, ouch. Your character takes damage based on the amount of survivors. So if the match is really close, you take a lot less damage. And if it's a landslide and you get slaughtered, then you take a lot. So, alright, so I'm still in first. My opponents are at 1 and 10. So they're gonna get first pick. I'm actually kind of happy to get this spatula here. It's on a Cho'Gath, which is worth 4 gold. And we already have a spatula on the bench. And a spatula creates an armor piece that allows you to get an extra character slot. So this will make up for me not having level 9. Now we get to put in our Swain! Gives us the demon bonus. Demon bonus is kind of cool. It makes the 2 characters that are demons drain mana from your opponents, meaning you get to ult more and faster and more often, and they get to ult less, which is pretty good. sweet 2-for-1s like in Magic. Alright. So, if you guys will notice the other opponent, so I'm playing this guy, our other opponent is going to be playing a ghost of one of us. So the way the game works is it will randomly generate one of us, one of our teams. You can see him on his bench, which means he's actually there. But the other opponent, because there's 3 of us, we have an odd number, has to fight one of us randomly, even though we're not there. So he can lose life if he loses, but he can't deal damage to us if he wins. So I have a chance to just win right here, which is exactly what happens, because I beat my opponent and killed him, and the other opponent lost to the ghost. So he took the final hit of damage as well. So it is a very, very steep learning curve for the game. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. I play the game once or twice a week. You can play with your viewers. Or I can't play with my viewers, and you can play with your friends if you sign on. The game is free to play. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'd love to see some comments. Have a good night, guys. I hope you have a fun weekend. I hope you enjoyed Variety Saturday. Have a good night. Be safe, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And also, I would really appreciate it if you guys would check out our sponsor, Card Kingdom. They absolutely make all of this content possible, and I couldn't be doing this without them. So the link is down below in the description. Also, I want to give a special thanks to all of our sponsors on Patreon. Thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.